There's a pretty big print on demand trend around the corner, as you can see here by the Google Trends chart that I put over my shoulder. And it's one that's easy to overlook. If you've ever sold in this niche, then you're not going to forget it, because there are quite a few sales that take place. And it's one of my personal favorites because there's just a lot of fun designs and funny designs in this niche every year while it's trending. So I'm going to tell you what that niche is in just a second, and I'm going to make some designs in this niche and show you how I did it. So let's get right to it. So I was in Merchantformer just looking back at their archive feature, which lets you set a date and time in the past to see what trends were doing really well at a specific date and time. And when I was looking at March of 2022, which you can set the year up here, you want to set the year first. So 2022, go to March and then pick a day. You can then hit search and browse through. I realized that Pi Day, March 14th, 3.14. I don't know it beyond 3 digits. I know it's embarrassing, but that's a really fun niche. And after I realized that was going to be coming as a trend, I went to product search and I went ahead and I typed in Pi Day. All right. And I like to personally just optimize for US market. I don't know how big Pi Day is outside the US market. I love this holiday because it generates a lot of interest, but it's easy to overlook if you're just the type of t-shirt seller that just bounces from niche to niche to niche. It's not big and obvious the way that like Valentine's Day is, but they move a lot of t-shirts because there's a lot of fun ones. By the way, you can set your category here as well. I like to just optimize for standard t-shirt. If you guys caught my video from my Amazon Merch 2022 yearly recap video, I shared that roughly half of all my sales were in standard t-shirts. So I'm just going to optimize for standard t-shirts. And with Merchantformer, it's easy. You just enter in your search terms. They do have a competition score, but again, this is like, I'm doing this forward looking based on the results we saw in the merch archive. So I don't care about necessarily how it's doing right now. I already know it's going to be doing well in the future. And the competition score is going to change over time as these Pi Day shirts begin to see an increase in demand, which by the way, that's going to happen anytime now. So I do recommend you guys jump in if you're interested. These designs, I mean, there's some crazy ones here that are probably tough to execute. Like I'm going to jump into Kittl and I'm going to show you guys the type of design that like I do personally. Now, I don't typically get the #1 best-selling spot. I just let the graphic designers who are 10 times better than me take those spots, and I just kind of make it work for me. That's a big part of what's allowed me to be successful in my business ventures just in general, is I don't try to bite off more than I can chew. I like to just be realistic, look in the mirror, say, these are my strengths, these are my weaknesses, play to my strengths, and move on, right? So you can see just a ton of fun Magnum Pi, Magnum PI. There's some funny shirts. Math is a piece of cake crossed out pie. So there's just some funny ones here, guys. So what do you say we jump on over to Kittl and get started with our design? Now, typically I like to use design templates. So let's type in PI and see if Pi comes up with anything. Sometimes also depending on the site, you know, if you use like a really short word as your search, it may kind of trip it up. So okay, it doesn't look like that happened, but oh, they got some pizza pies. All right, how about we just type in math and then see if we have like a jumping off point. If we don't though, we can always start from nothing. Okay, so I don't think there's really too much that's gonna be in our favor. What about cake or pie, P-I-E? Maybe we can do something with that based on the inspiration we just got from Merchantformer. You guys see anything that we could work with here? Math is a piece of pie. I do like that as a niche. How about that? Maybe not. Maybe we just start blank, guys, and I'll just kind of show you how I go about making my own designs in general with a blank slate. So I'm going to set the width to 4,500. I'm going to set the height to 5,400, and I'm going to hit create. I'm going to set the background color. You can just click in and set it to black because I typically do optimize for black. And let's see if we can at least grab like from the elements on the sidebar here, the pi symbol. Otherwise we might be in a little bit of trouble. PI. All right, we don't have the pi symbol. So we don't need it. That's the thing. We don't necessarily need the pi symbol. Also, you're definitely capable of, you're able to upload your own custom graphics. So in this case, the absence of the pi symbol is not going to stop us from using Kittl to make this design, but also it's almost like a little bit of a challenge in that what if we make a different design? It seemed like every single design we just looked at in Merchantformer in one way or the other had the pi symbol in it. What if we make a design that does not have the pi symbol in it? Now, maybe I'm talking crazy here. Maybe that's, you know, this one, it does. Maybe I'll save this on my side monitor too, so I can get the digits of pi if I need them. Let's see. So why don't we just say math is a piece of pi. We'll just add some standard text here. Change the color to white, just like that. We should definitely make it bigger. I think it's easiest just to drag the corner. Okay. Can center it. Math. And let's find a good font. I didn't pre-plan this, so why don't we get a nice big, like, bold font family here. This is why I like to sometimes use like the design templates, because they have good like font pairings too, so I don't have to go through it in real time. But we'll use the word math, okay? And this font is Adventurer 3. Okay, so math. We can center it there. And this is something, by the way, that I'm going to show you here that I don't want to say a lot of people, I mean, most people watching probably do this right, but it's not uncommon for me to see people maybe get this wrong. So when I say it does not need to be as big as the word math. When people look at my shirt, they are thinking math and pi, and maybe double pi, right? Pi, but also a piece of pie, maybe. But the does not need to compete for attention with everything else. So what we can do here is, why don't we bring the font size down to like 500? All right, math is okay. We could even say like is a piece of, right? We could even just do that. Math is a piece of, because it doesn't, you know, what does piece of need to be? Why does it need to be bigger? Why does it need to be on its own line? It doesn't. So you see how we did text contrast right there? We're not even in color contrast. We're just talking about size contrast. And if you wanted to, you could perhaps change up the font family as well. But these things, like, this isn't, you know what I mean? This is like kind of basic level approach to design. But this is how like 50% or more of my designs in 2022, when I made over $80,000 profit on Amazon merch, just Amazon merch, by the way, not all the other places I sell. This is how I do it with text only designs. It's because like you just pay attention to like the simple things that make your design good enough, right? With my air quotes, good enough, you know, to make a sale. Math is a piece of. Now, this is where maybe we have, you know, something a little that cuts a little bit against the grain by not including the pi symbol, and we actually just go for a piece of, let's see, is there a piece of pi where we can actually go grab the pi symbol here? I don't know if I like the pink though. I don't know if I like the pink, but you know what we can do is we can add this pink piece of pi here, okay? And then down here in the bottom right corner, I can click and I should be able to experiment with different kind of color schemes for this piece of pie. How about that? I think the orange looks good, especially for optimizing for this being sold against a black shirt. That's why I always, like, you know, on merch specifically, but even if you're not selling on merch, like in your primary thumbnail, you're only going to get to show the design against one color product most likely. So pick one that looks, that you're going to make it look really good against, even if you offer other colors. All right. I love the way this orange pie looks like pumpkin pie. Let's just call it that, against the black background. So I just went ahead and uploaded a pi symbol that I found. You can go to places like Creative Fabrica, for instance, where I know you'll have the usage rights. I don't want to go recommending websites where you might not. So always, if you're going to grab pre-made graphics, guys, just make sure you have the rights to use them. And what you can do here is just kind of put it right there in the middle of the pie piece of pie. You could even rotate it a little bit by clicking that, you know, spinny symbol there at the bottom, and kind of keep it angled with how the piece of the slice of pie is angled, and do something just like that, guys. I mean, pretty simple. Maybe I'll change the color of it as well from black and match it to the piece of pie, since, you know, the black is just the color of the shirt in this case. That's what it's representing. And if we offer it in different colors, then that may change. So Kittl provides the document colors right there, so you can actually just kind of click through them and see which one looks best. I think that yellow, safe to say, looks best. Guys, math is a piece of pie. I'm like looking at it right now as I read it. Like, hopefully I didn't make a typo and it was just sitting there the whole time, because I know you guys would let me know in the comments. And I don't want to get lit up today. What do you think though? I mean, Pi Day, there's a lot of fun designs. There's a lot of different ways to spin it. You could even go venture into like KDP and make some Pi Day themed math workbooks. I mean, that's an easy low hanging fruit thing to do. This is one of my favorite like holidays for print on demand, for a lot of the reasons I shared today in this video. Let me know your thoughts on Pi Day. Have you made any Pi Day designs in the past? You make any sales? What's your favorite Pi Day like pun or niche? I'll show you mine in a future video. I think I'll have plenty of opportunities to talk about that. Yeah, guys, this is coming up, so definitely get on it, make some sales. As you know, the February niches are basically all coming to pass now. The big ones, the trending ones. So yeah, I got my eyes set on Pi Day. Guys, thanks for watching. Check out Kittl. I'll drop a link to that at the top of the description, as well as Merch Informer in case you need assistance in honing in not only on the big trends. Their archive feature that I showed you earlier is a great way to do that. But beyond that, you can also use their product search feature, filters out the products you can't sell, shows you the best selling products, gives you sales projections, all that good stuff. So check out Merch Informer. I'll also link to that in the description, and I'll drop a 20% off code that they gave me to share along with it. All right, guys, thanks for watching. I'll see you tomorrow with a new video.